Tamara Maximenko, a dancer and an artist who has spent all her life in performing and visual arts. I am also an immigrant and I established a cultural association based in Innsbruck. Welcome to Open Pages, my cultural diary. It's a chance for you and for me to discover something new, to connect with different artists from different places where I travel or I attend certain events and give my overview, my thoughts and my impressions on it, where I also talk with artists about certain things. This is the second video in the series of Open Pages, and in this video I'm gonna share with you my personal opinion and an overview of two absolutely different performances with the artistic language, with the atmosphere and the background of it, which I have recently visited. What would be really important maybe to mention that the last years and I tried to attend events without any reading of the project. For me, it's really crucial to have a pure impression, or like to see the art piece without knowing, reading. Like if we go in the nature and we witness a rock or a mountain or a river, right? Something, just a pure impression. So first performance was a site-specific performance which started in the area close to Landestheater in Innsbruck, and this artist performed till a Künstler Kunstpavilion in Hofgarten. Very beautiful area of Innsbruck. It's a city center, a really historical venue. What I want to say, again, I came there without reading explanation. I wanted just to be informationally blind in order to perceive the art. There was a very good, high quality movement dancer, a young woman. Very good outfit, in my opinion. She really put attention into outfit, and movement were very light, very good fitted to the environment. I want to say that site-specific performances in general kind of my favorite, because from one side I think this is already a rebellion. It's already when you do site-specific performance, you already do something against normality, something like we awake already just by being present as an artist inside in city sites. If you make a handstanding or a spagat, whatever you do in a site-specific performance, it's already very strong because you do something opposite to the society normalities, right? Usually we just walk or sit, stand, talk, something really obvious, right? So I am fan of site-specific performances. At the same time, I think that this kind of art, if we speak about contemporary dance, which usually has not only forms and the costumes and but also has some strong topics behind the performance. In my opinion, site-specific performances is the top. What I mean, I'm gonna explain by talking about this performance. I liked a lot the dancer, how she moved. I saw a long path of dance practices in her body behind. I saw very well-structured performance. Movements were chosen the way, so there was a huge work done behind this performance. Movements were light. She used very well environment. She was not afraid on looking at the people at the public. We met a few times by our eyes, our gaze, and I like a lot of things. Like she put attention to her outfit at the end of the performance, because I attended this performance with my 2 years old baby, with my 2 years old daughter. I had no chance to listen to the poetry she read at the end of her performance. This is one thing I cannot tell anything. What I saw in the end, she used a candle, a black candle. For me, it is a direct image on death, on loss, on something hard and strong. I am telling only my perspective on it. At the same time, I missed a lot in this performance soul. For me, there was no kind of soul. But again, this is my personal now investigation in art, because I think that we went too far into logic and conceptuality, conceptual way of expression. So this performance was really nice. It has a lot of strong moments, which I already mentioned. At the same time, I feel there was no enough for me emotional basis of the movements, of how this artist express. I wondered when I looked at this performance, I wondered, what does she feel? What is inside? This would be interesting topic with you guys when you go to a dance pieces. If you go to a dance pieces, if you witnessing site-specific performance, what is interesting for you to observe? So the second performance I attended the next day was in Die Bäckerei Kulturbergstube. It's an art space in Innsbruck where artists can easily step in, offer something, and have a chance to show. The concept I like very much. It was actually the beginning of my artistic career when I moved. As I mentioned in the beginning, that I'm an immigrant, so for me it was a very long way. It's still a way, artistic way to feel good in this life. And Innsbruck, Die Bäckerei was one of these platforms which actually helped a lot, also offered me some invitations, etc., etc. So I went there. That was a performance which is called Love Eats Fear. This performance was announced that it's like realized or maybe organized by Mamal Kanipur. We know him very well here in Innsbruck. Mamal, hi. What I want to say that I actually, again, I stepped in without reading anything, and I was surprised in a good way, you know. I was surprised in a good way by the performance, and I was surprised on myself, on how I felt during the performance. Dancers are from Landestheater, it's the main theater in Innsbruck, focused more on the modern technique. There is a strong ballet technique, you can easily see it in the bodies. Very beautiful, high top level dancers for sure. Absolutely. Bodies can do anything you want from them. I was like, I had the aesthetic joy on watching it. Music was also, in my opinion, good. Was a good choice. It was electronic. I am afraid to mention name on the type of this music, because yeah, I'm afraid to make mistake. the music was always the same, only in the beginning, and at the end there was a violin, a cello musician with the live cello music. Dancers had a very strong outfit. In movements were a lot of sexuality. A lot of movements reminded sex. Touch, they had trios, duets, different forms, very strong choreography, every step choreographed with music, so you can easily see it. What confused me a little bit, so I went there with my friend Helga, and she read a little bit about this performance, and she said that this is interactive. And I was a little bit confused because from the very first appearance of artists, it was very obvious seeing that there is no chance for audience to step in. There was, in my opinion, no communication with audience. It's not interactive. So I was also a little bit confused because Mamal, who is my friend, he announced this performance, and he said in the beginning that also like feel free to I'm not sure that I remember his exactly words, but he said something like feel free to step in or to interact or something like that, you know. So, and then there was absolutely choreographed piece, very strong, beautiful, interesting, etc. But I was like, okay, but how do they think that audience would talk with you? For me, it was a show. It was even not a performance, but it was a show with the beautiful dancers, perfect bodies, a lot of sexuality, a lot of, I mentioned already, sexy movements, like touch, like I don't know, a pubic bones to the nose of another. many like a seed bones to the face, you know, all this stuff, like in a dancing way, of course. And so I was surprised, as I said, that actually I loved it. I would say that there was not a lot of information to think about, but it was nice to watch. Very good sound, and aesthetically a beautiful picture. What to say? Beautiful bodies, battements and pliés, and wow, yes. So I was surprised by myself as well, because I thought that I am already too far from this kind of art, but maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. And sexuality, what I want to say, of course, this is something, I think, what keeps us alive. In general, love, sex, these feelings makes us alive. And I think this is a very strong thing in general to bring on stage. People will always go there if you bring something this way, something about sex or love. I would only ask maybe why love is fear, why not sex is fear? Because if we look at the how body and how hormones behaves, after sex we always have relief. And as person traumatized, I mean, of course, there is different type of trauma, and person can be raped, then maybe sex is not the topic. But I am summarizing that traumas brings a lot of sexuality and the need of sex. This is actually also a discovery of myself. When I had more stressy life, I needed sex more, which is also beautiful, and it kind of helped me to go over hard things in life. So I haven't seen in this performance love, which is absolutely different thing from sex to me. Yes. I'm curious to hear, guys, you about your relationship between love and sex. Share it in the comment. And this is my overview and my personal opinion on two performances I have seen last week in Innsbruck.